Hello guys, today I'm going to be doing an advanced guide for Psylocke for Marvel Rivals. Right now I'm rank 185 in the world, top 25 peak, and I've also had quite a few good tournament placings over the past few betas and alphas. So let's get into the practice range and get started. One thing I want to kind of open up with is that Psylocke has some of the most carry potential in the game, very similar to Tracer in Overwatch. Psylocke, Hela, and Hawkeye are kind of in the same group of carry potential. They can win you games by themselves. So let's just start off with the basic abilities. So we got our left click, which you click once and it fires twice, shooting kind of a shotgun-esque pellet ability, right? Fairly close range ability. Next we have our right click, which is a projectile shuriken, right? So we throw it out, press right click again, we pull them out. These give us lifesteal when you retrieve. So when you press the right click for the second time, we actually get HP back. So that's that ability, and then we have our dash, which is a very good mobility tool. Also can dash through to do damage. Next we have our invisibility, right? So invis for 3 seconds, and that's how that works. Alright, so let's get into the kind of advanced talk about the abilities, right? Let me actually turn on no ability cooldowns here.
Here they come now.
Right, so let's talk about our left click. So this is kind of our damage from range. You know, obviously the closer we are, the more pellets we're gonna hit, the more damage we're gonna do. I kind of want to talk about our bread and butter combo. So our bread and butter combo is kind of left click, left click, right? Into dash if they don't die, right? So left click, left click, dash. Right, so let me slow that down for you guys. Left click, left click. Right, that's kind of our bread and butter, kind of animation cancel, high damage rotation, right? Left click, left click. Right, and this is kind of just want to practice this in the practice range. Like let's say, you know, we get them kind of low, we can finish them off with a dash. This is the bread and butter way to kill squishies. Just like that. Like that's the bread and butter way to kill squishies. Okay. So that's how you kill those people. Now let's talk about how we're going to actually close the gap, right? How are we going to close the gap on the enemy? Well, we have a few different ways. One, which would be the most ideal way, would be to kind of come from a flanking position, let's say like above them, right? As we see them down there, right? We're above them, we're on them, kill them, and then we're gone, right? This is the ideal situation. Let me explain this concept. You want to get as close to the enemy using the least amount of abilities possible, the least amount of your mobility possible, because the more mobility you have after you attack somebody from behind or from the side, the better chance you have of escaping, right? Because if I go in with dash, invis, and then we're in, right? Like I have one dash to escape, right? Which is fine sometimes, but sometimes you're gonna want to have double dash or dash invis, right? You're gonna want to have multiple or dash invis, right? Having more mobility, the better, right? So let's just kind of go over like a bread and butter like way to kind of close the gap, right? So I see the enemy right here, right? I go invis behind cover, they have no idea. Left click, left click, boom, dash in, dash out, and we're gone, right? Like this is a very simple setup, right? We go invis, close the gap, and oh, kind of messed it up there, but you guys get the idea. You never really want to go invis in the open because they'll see you go invis, right? They know that you're going to try and be making a play, right? They're going to be playing safer. And also, they can shoot you while you're invisible to make you become uninvisible, right? Like they can see you, like if they shoot you, you become visible for a short amount of time, okay? So if they see you go invis, they kind of spam the area and like, you know, kind of track you, right? And you're not gonna get much done, right? But if they're tracking you, like, you know, what's the point of going invisible? So the idea is that you want to go invisible, kind of in cover, right? So like they're below, we're invis, drop on them, and then we're, you know, we kill them when we're out, okay? But the general idea is that go invis behind cover, on them, you know, dash out. Keeping as much mobility options, keeping as much mobility available as possible, you know, to escape is the ideal situation. But don't feel afraid to, like, if you feel like you can escape in one dash, like, don't be afraid to, you know, like, dash into the air, invis, on them, dash up, right? Okay, and also don't think that you need to get the kill, right? Like, don't stay like much longer than your combo, right? Like as soon as they start reacting to you being on them, like get the fuck out, right? Like once the enemy team has reacted to you being on them, like it's time to go, okay? Because like if you get stunned, you're dead, right? If Mantis hits you with a sleep, if Luna hits you with the freeze, you're dead. So it's very important that when the enemy team starts to react to you being on them, that you escape. Okay. Next, I want to talk about the ultimate, okay? So when you use the ultimate, right, it's this huge circle, right? And it hits everybody one by one in order, okay? So it'll hit that guy, that guy, that guy, and then back to that guy, you know? Hits everybody one by one. So you don't really want to jump on the enemy team and use it on 6 people, right? You kind of want to use it on, you know, 1 to 2 squishies, right? So like if we use it on one squishy, let me grab another ultimate here. So we use it on one squishy. Look how quick we killed this guy. Oh, okay. Kind of got messed up because that guy spawned. But let me try using it on this guy right here. But look how quick we kill when it's only one of them, and he's dead. That quick. Like such little time to react when we're using it on just one person. Okay. Now look if we use it on 2 people. A lot longer time, right, for them to get out, okay? But the general idea is that you want to jump on squishy targets, DPS or supports, and, you know, use your ult on them to kill them quickly, okay? Your ultimate's also very vertical dependent, okay? Like if you're, like, up on the staircase, we're not hitting this guy down there. We hit him there, but like if we're up here, we're not hitting them down here, even if they're in range, okay? So it's very important that you are like aware of how high up you are, right? Because you want to be able to hit people. Like I want to be trying to use this ultimate on Iron Man, you know what I mean? Like he would be very difficult, or like Storm, right? These are very difficult people to get with your ultimate, right? Also another important thing is that you can actually move while in ultimate, right? So like we kill this guy, then we kind of back away towards our team, okay? Like if this is our main tank, right? Like this is Doctor Strange and he's holding his shield up. One thing that we might do is like dash, invis, right? Ultimate, right? Kill this guy, use our ultimate to back out slowly, and boom, we're behind the tank, okay? Because when your ultimate ends, right? Like I'm spamming shift here, right? So our ultimate ends, I'm spamming shift. Look how long it took to use shift. You can die in that time, you know, where you can't move, right? So we cancel, spamming shift, and then we finally dash, okay? So you can die easily after your ultimate ends. So it's very important that you position yourself with your ultimate, right? Like we kill one person, and then we get behind our team. You know what I mean? Like this is very important. Also, canceling your ultimate early is a good way to surprise the enemy, right? Because good players are going to recognize like how long you're going to be in the ultimate, okay? But canceling your ultimate is a good way to surprise the enemy and escape easier, right? So like we get on them, right? We kill 1, 2, cancel, dash up, right? They're not going to be expecting us to get out of ultimate like that. They're expecting it to last another like 2 to 3 seconds, right? So a really common thing that I do is get on them, cancel, dash out, right? Dash into invis, right? Or the most bread and butter way would be to dash on, ult, and then go back to your main tank, right? This is like the safest option. Because like I said, when you do get out of the ultimate, you do have those frames where you can't use any mobility for a few, like a good second there, in which you can very easily be stunned and killed. Another thing that's very important with the ultimate is that when you see how like I was floating there for a second, like look, right there for like about 1 second or like half a second, you are actually able to be hit, right? So if you're like, 20 HP, don't be pressing your ultimate button because look, I ult and I'm dead, right? Like someone shoots me and I'm dead. So it's very important that you use invis, get behind the enemy then ult, right? Because they're not going to be as prepared to shoot you. You don't want to be like running up to them and then pressing ultimate, right? Because then you're, running up to them all, like, because then you're very killable, right? You want to kind of like, let's say you're on the high ground, boom, dash, and then we ult from above, boom, we're on top of them. Cancel, dash out, invis, right? Like this is a very simple way to use ultimate. Okay. Next thing I want to talk about is that you build ultimate basically the fastest in the game. You're one of the fastest people to build ultimate, right? So like when we're in neutral, right, when the game first starts, or when the enemy isn't on top of you, you're not on top of the enemy, right? We're poking, okay? You're poking, you're poking, you're poking. Like we want to be poking as much as possible. Right click, like that. Right? Like look how fast you can kill people from mid range. Look at that. Like it's just insane. Like we're killing these people. You might as well be on top of them. The way we're killing them, right? But we just want to be farming ult charge, right? Like in the neutral, right? Especially in the very start of the game. Farming ult, boom, we got it first. Pop ult right away, right? And why is getting ultimate first important? If you play Overwatch, you'll understand when you're going against a Luna Snow or a Mantis, they have defensive ults, right? When they press ultimate, they can, nullify your ultimate and keep their team alive, right? So if we're the first person to have ult, then Luna Snow can't counter us, right? Like we have ult first, like boom, they have nothing to stop us. Like, we're killing 1 or 2 people minimum, they have no way to defend against it. Right. So one thing that's really important about using your ultimate is that you want to keep track of the enemy ultimates. Are you the first one to have ultimate? And you can look at your team, right? Like, so if you press tab and look at your team, you can see like 5%, like I have 6% ult charge, right? 9% ult charge. And you look at your other, let's say you have a Luna Snow on your team, and you see your Luna Snow is at 90%, and you have ultimate, well then you can kind of come to the conclusion that, hey, the enemy Luna Snow isn't going to have ultimate. Like, if my Luna Snow doesn't have ultimate, the enemy Luna Snow probably doesn't have ultimate. Boom, pop ultimate early. Boom, double dash on, ult. Like, if that's what it takes, using, like, a lot of mobility to get onto the enemy, like, if you have ult first, you're going to be winning the first team fight, right? But it's very important that you keep track of Luna Snow, Mantis, and Dagger and Cloak, or Cloak and Dagger, keeping track of their ultimates and knowing if they have them up. Because they're really the only way, they're going to be the only way that the enemy can stop you from killing people. So one thing that you really want to do is either kill the Luna Snow, right? So if we kill her, she can't ultimate. Can't use her ultimate to defend. We want to get her low, right? Let's say we get her this low. She might use her ultimate to stay alive, right? And then we can use our ultimate. We can have a teammate like Punisher use his ultimate, right? He can use his ultimate, bait out Luna Snow ult, and then we can use our ultimate, right? And they won't have anything to stop us, right? Or what I really like to do, especially against good players, because good players know that they need to hold their ultimate for your ultimate, right? They're just going to be waiting for you, right? It's very Zenyatta Overwatch style, Zen's holding ultimate for, Genji ult or Soldier ult, you know what I mean? It's the same concept in Marvel Rivals. If Luna Snow is here, and the enemy tank is right here, right? Or the enemy DPS, right? Luna Snow cannot close the gap with her ultimate in time before you kill, right? So like let's say we are invis above him, we're ulting, 1, 2, dead, right? He's dead just like that, 2 hits, he's dead. And Luna Snow does not have time to close the gap, okay? So one thing that's really strong is just getting on someone who's far away from the enemy defensive ults, okay? If they're far away from the enemy defensive ults, solo ult them, kill them. Do not think that you need to get a 6k or get a clip to win the game or win a team fight. If you kill one support, one DPS, if you kill 2 people, your team's, gonna win the team fight. So don't feel like you need to go for 6 people. And, the ultimate isn't really good into 6 people because it hits everyone 1 by 1, right? So, like, the best way to use the ultimate is to go onto one person and kill them, or 2 people and kill them, specifically squishies. You know, you can use the ult to solo kill tanks, but in general, you want to be going for the squishies.
The enemy has arrived.
One thing that's really important is that during kind of the poke stage of the game, let's say like your team's here, right? Our team's the blue people, the team's the red people. Right, enemy team's the red people. Alright, we're kind of poking from the side, right? Like this is creating a lot of value. Let's say that this is Luna Snow that we're shooting at right here. And Luna Snow is like, oh shit, like I'm getting kind of pressured right now from the side. This is like, do I turn around? Do I heal my team? Do I shoot the enemy? Like, what do I do, right? Right, so we are pressuring the enemy team by playing to the side, right? You're not always playing a very like front to back style, right? Like if this is our tank right here, you're not always sitting behind your tank and poking, right? A lot of the time, you know, you're off the side in a room here, and you're poking from distance, okay? And this is creating a lot of value, right? Like if we're shooting the enemy tank and he has to turn around, or we're shooting the enemy supports, and the enemy supports are using their stun abilities on you, right? And you're like kind of baiting out their utility. Like we're creating a lot of value, even when we're not killing people, right? So like we're fighting, we're farming ult charge, we're getting the enemy team to look at us while our team is fighting them from the front, right? You know, let's say you see a good opportunity, like you see this guy right here, like you go invis, like, you know, we get on him and then we're back behind the enemy team, right? So you create a lot of value just by shooting people from the side. Like let's say we're on a roof, like we're on a roof here. Like look how much pressure we're applying. Like, oh, they turn around to look at us, you know, we dash into invis, right? Then we're on them, and then we dash to high ground, right? And then we're out. You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of combinations you can do, okay? But going off to the side and applying pressure is a huge part of playing this character. It's kind of a lot like Soldier. How Soldier is a very self-sufficient character in Overwatch. You want to go off to the side and pressure the enemy. Force out utility, force out mobility, force them to fall back so you can take a better position, right? Seeing opportunities to go in on people that are low like that, boom, dash out, dash behind onto our teammates, okay? That's the general idea of playing this character. You really want to play off to the side, you want to look for people who are alone, you know, weak squishies, going in for the kills, kind of having predetermined plans of how you're going to escape. And also a very important thing is knowing where the med packs are on every map, right? Because if we're playing over here, right, can our Luna Snow heal us easily? The answer is no. Like if Luna Snow's, you know, one of these people over in the back here, Luna Snow can't heal us easily, right? Like we're creating a lot of value, but Luna Snow cannot heal us, right? So if the enemy team kind of like puts a lot of attention towards us, it's very important that we kind of have an escape route planned. Whether that's, you know, going out this way, right? Let's say there's an escape route out this way. Like we're pressuring. Oh, they turn around, boom, like, we're out. Okay, that's one way to do things. Or like they're pressuring, we go invis. You know, they turn around, and we're back with our main tank, right? And now we're kind of playing front to back style.
Step aside.
Or another thing you can do, right, since the Luna Snow isn't healing us, let's say we're fighting, you know, they turn around and do a considerable amount of damage to us. You know, we go invis behind cover, dash, you know, onto the med pack, right? You know, a lot of the time these med packs, they aren't in the open map, right? Like, they're not going to be where your team is usually fighting. They're going to be in rooms, like, off to the side. Like, let's say the main fight's happening right here, right? There might be a med pack in here, right? So, like, we're fighting, you know, we get kind of low, boom, dash onto the med pack, maybe walk around the room, and then we're behind them, you know what I mean? Like, into the air, into ult, okay? Basically, you know, you want to be aware where the med packs are so you can be self-sufficient. You know, you don't have to worry about your Luna Snow healing you or Mantis healing you. You can easily get to a med pack. I mean, you're one of the only characters that has, you know, 2 of your ability, 3 of your abilities are mobility options, you know what I mean? You move faster when you're in this too. Like, you have very good mobility, right? So you can get to these med kits, and, you know, your Luna Snow can focus more on your other DPS and tanks and things like that. But if I had to talk about, like, my main tips, it would be use as little mobility as possible to get onto the enemy, okay? Use as little mobility as possible to get onto the enemy, so you have the most mobility available to escape, okay? If you double dash in, right, you don't have a dash to get out, okay? That's something you gotta be aware of. That's one tip. 2 tips, know where the med packs are, because you are a very fast character. You can easily get to the med packs on the side of the map. 3
Step
would be to
aside.
apply pressure from the side, right? You want to create off angles. You want to force, like the enemy is looking forward, you
spot
want to force them
requires
to look
attention.
behind, right?
Mind
This
over
gives
matter.
your other teammates opportunity, okay?
Out of sight.
My next tip, remember
The enemy has
your
arrived.
combo, okay? And mix it up, you know what I mean? Like if you don't have, like let's say you don't have your right click, don't worry, left click, dash, you know what I mean? Like you don't need to have
How
all of
sad.
your, you know, like you don't have to have your bread and butter DPS combination available to you to, you know, get a lot of value and get kills, right? Next tip would be keeping track of the enemy ultimates, specifically the support ults, so you can, you know, get a lot of value with your ultimate, right?
And
So
your
those are my
story
big tips. Play off angles, know where the med packs are, use as little mobility as possible to get onto the enemy, right? So you have as much mobility available to get away. Another big tip is do a lot of poke damage. Never stop shooting and farming your ultimate, because you can easily be the first one to get ultimate. And then you're wiping the enemy team, they have no defensive ult, okay? But yeah, those are
The enemy has
my
arrived.
big tips. Also going invis without them seeing you going invis is kind of a really big deal. So they can't track you easily. But yeah, those are my big tips, and I hope you guys enjoyed. I know it was kind of a long rant, but I hope you guys could pull some of those big things, especially those tips at the end. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed. Thank you guys.